Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, the site of tonight's Sim Racing Points Truck Series season finale for 2025B here on Full Throttle Television. In the booth with me tonight is Tony Solari. My name's Brady Hanna. We'll be covering all the action for you here tonight from Milwaukee. And the Milwaukee Mile, Tony, it is a flat 1 mile track. It is very challenging for these drivers. We'll see who's able to tackle it tonight as we crown the 2025B champion and get ready for the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, I usually like a nice flat track, and especially kind of a short track like the Milwaukee Mile. But for some reason, I'm not a big fan, and our counterpart is out of town, so I'm filling in for him tonight, and just here to watch the action tonight, and so get this season B wrapped up and see who comes out on top.
Yeah, challenging track here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. We travel here about once a year. And this track always presents a challenge. You've got those really flat corners. You got the repaved parts in the corners right on the bottom. That's where you want to be. But this track is still rough. Man, you come off the corner, you kind of bounce around. You got the curbing on the inside. It's a long sweeping corner. It takes a long time to get around. You got to be patient here. And we'll see who's most patient here tonight as we get ready to get rolling here. Like we said, this is the last race of the schedule. Let's look at the schedule here tonight for the Sim Racing Points Truck Series B season. Milwaukee does it up and does it at the end here. 150 laps here on the schedule. 40 lap is your stage lap. And we finish up the season here, and we start off season C and the playoffs after this. So 1 week from today, we'll be in the playoffs. Looking at the B season points. Brendan Polk comes in with a nice hefty lead over Robert Malikian in second. You got Jonathan Atkins there in third. Wyatt Huntley and Michael Blattner rounding out your top five for the C season points. It's all but locked up for the 71 of Polk. Just needs a solid night tonight, and I think he'll be in good shape.
Yeah, Robert had some computer issues last week. I know he's back on track this week, so he's got his stuff all squared away. But Brendan's having a great season. Has a win at least, a couple wins I believe, and he's been doing really good all season. I know I've been on track with him, racing against him all season, and he's been doing a great job. And I'm just kind of waiting to see who's next on the list to maybe even knock on the door here. This being such a unique track, there is a possibility we might see a new first time winner here.
It's a great point. We don't come here often, so you could see somebody kind of surprise us here tonight with a surprise win, possibly. That would be great to see. If you look at the playoff points here, though, well, yeah, again, this is the last race to get into the playoffs, and you see all the names in yellow are locked in so far. And all those guys around the cutoff line are looking to get in. Right now, William Lark holding it down on the playoff bubble with James Morris not being able to compete for the rest of the season. It moves Lark up onto the cutoff line. But Tony, you're right there. You're pretty safe. But look at Michael Blattner, Robert Malikian, Lewis Meglin all ahead of you there in points, looking in pretty good shape as well. But all those guys below the cutoff line are looking for an opportunity to possibly get that win and lock themselves in. And look at those names. Jeff Chandler. You got some other guys back there that are looking to get that win. Chris Gore, Dave Nestor, even Burgess, some of the other guys looking to get that win and lock themselves into the playoffs.
It's no different than the Cup Series. You know, we've got kind of almost similar same players week in, week out that, they can punch their ticket, get a win here. And, again, with this track not being a place we go to often, it could throw a curveball for somebody. I mean, there could be some fuel mileage. There could be a little bit. You never know what's going to happen tonight. And that's what we're here for. We're going to check it out.
Yeah, we're going to have 150 laps to find that out tonight. Again, they got to get the stage 40 to start first. But I believe the guys are starting to grid, so let's go ahead and kick it off to our starting lineup for the Milwaukee 150. On pole tonight in the number 99, last week's winner from Richmond, J.P. Burns, looking to go 2 for 2. To his outside is the number 52, that is Brandon Elder. And then starting P3 is a teammate of his, the 4 of Jonathan Atkins. And starting 4th right beside him is going to be the 9. That is Marshall Johnson. Starting P5, the 42 of Kyle Milliken. And to his outside is going to be the 21. That is Wyatt Huntley. Starting 7th in the number 15, your playoff leader, the 15 of Nicholas Moreau. Starting P8, the 28. That is TJ Bartell, the first Chevrolet in the field. Starting 9th, The first foreign in the field is the number 22. That is Michael Blackner. And rounding out your top 10, the 18 of Barry Kramer in his Toyota. Starting 11th, the number 71. That is Brendan Polt. Starting 12th is the 36. That is Dave Nestor. Starting P13, the 16, Robert Malikian. And to his outside, the 14 is the 7 of Wayne Grassi in 14th position. Starting P15, that is Chad Ling in the number 3. Starting 16th is the 77. That is Noah Nicholson. Starting 17th is the teammate to the 77. That is the 76 of Cameron Albertson. Starting 18th, that is going to be the 34 of Chris Beck. And teammate, I'm sorry, that's not a teammate, but 19th is going to be the 89 of Chris Gore. Starting 20th is Jeff Chandler. 21st is going to be Joshua O'Connor. 22nd, Shag Curran and Lewis Maglin. And then Brad Fulham and Joseph Burgess round out your 25 car field here tonight at Milwaukee.
Not an overly big field, but, a good grouping of guys tonight. And, you probably don't need that many people out here tonight. It being a short track 1 miler, so hopefully everybody's going to be clean and kind of keep their car or their truck under them. And we're going to have a good race tonight. I'm hoping for that.
A lot of guys compare this to New Hampshire. It is 1 mile. It is a flat track. There's a lot of similarities, but there are some differences as well. The older concrete or asphalt here provides a challenge to these guys. But, Tony, we're getting down to it. I'm going to give you a quick chance. Give me a shout-out. Who are you looking at?
Well, we talked about him. We were talking to him earlier. Let's go with Marshall Johnson tonight. He's looking quick out there.
All right. Well, how can you go wrong with the 99 of J.P. Burns going 2 for 2, starting from the front row? That's the one I got my eye on. We know he put a lot of time in, but don't count out Wyatt Huntley, Jonathan Atkins as well with Brandon Elder. Here we'll get ready for the green flag here at Milwaukee. Pace car is off. Green flag is out, and we are racing here at Milwaukee.
And they got a head almost a drag race going on the front straightaway there. JP does get it out there, get out the lead though, and Brandon's in tow. We still got a lot of 2x2 behind everybody right now.
Out of turn 2 down the backstretch. A lot of 2x2 racing so far. Looking at Marshall Johnson trying to find a spot to ride here in front of Kyle Milliken. Oh, we got the 18. Is that 18? Shot up the track there, Barry Kramer. He hangs on to it. We got one loose off turn 4, but they hang on to it there as well.
Well, I can see tires being a big advantage, so I can see a few guys maybe even laying back a little bit. But if you notice on the inside of the corners, there is that dark pavement, and then it's the new asphalt, and that really is the preferred line around here. And if you kind of get off that dark pavement, you really kind of get tight, and the car does not want to turn. And that's always kind of the tricky part about this track. So you want to try. You're going to see a lot of the guys stay pretty low. Ooh, Wayne Grossi gets a little loose coming out of 4. And we got a yellow.
Yeah, he's around off turn 4, gets it stopped. No other guys collected there. We're going to have our first caution of the night on lap 2 as he gets loose out of turn 4. There may be a little help. We'll go back and look at it in a minute. And just to cap off what we were talking about, Michael Blackner was the one that got loose the lap before off of turn 4, just falls to the rear of the field to find somewhere to ride. Let's go back and look at our best one tire and auto care instant replay. See what happened to Wayne here coming through 3 and 4. On the outside, looks like... he just loses it on the outside in front of a couple of cars.
Well, you kind of got on that, the front end of the car was on the dark pavement, and the rear end of the car, was on the older pavement. So you can see how how there's less grip out there. So you got a little loose.
Is that right there? Is that a 70? I don't know exactly who that was right behind him there. Had nowhere to go, just kind of tapped him as he went by and kept going. I don't think anybody's got any major damage. I think the 70 of O'Connor maybe, no, it wasn't even the 70 of O'Connor. Who was that?
That was a 76 of Cameron Everett.
Yeah, so just a little tap if he went by there.
Or 78, sorry.
Yeah, 78. One more shot on board from Cameron. You'll see just trying to get back down, just kind of loses it right there. But just a small tap. Everybody kept going.
Yeah, it didn't look like there was much damage there. And actually, it looks like Cameron was trying to give Wayne a little bit of room trying to get down in there. And just unfortunately, Yeah, it's a little slippery on that older pavement, and his front nose probably had a little bit too much grip on the exit of that corner and kind of caused the truck to spin on him. Unfortunate, but not too bad.
Yeah, not race ending at all. And Wayne's actually just now exiting the pits, getting all that damage fixed, and going to get back at it.
And Wayne's been having kind of an up and down season. We know on Monday he did a hell of a job. He almost got DQ'd, but he's kept the car clean for the rest of the race and was still able to finish. So definitely, hopefully he doesn't have the same night again. But in that regards, he's not starting his night off pretty well. So for that,
Wayne with that win this year, just put him in good position for the playoffs. So he's not got anything to worry about there. But you got to wonder without that win how his season would have been here, because it has been up and down. But then again, I guess if you say that, he would race differently if he didn't have a win too. So, kind of you can't
very
really
true, very true.
Can't really depend on that. Well, they are 2x2. The pace car is going to pull off this time by still JP Burns with the lead out front. Brandon Elder in second. Actually, there goes the pace car. I was wondering if he's going to race with him. All right, but he's off now in the restart zone. Green flag is out. We're racing once again here at Milwaukee, and Brandon gets a great jump this time.
Yeah, he shot out like a cannon there, and unfortunately not enough for JP, but still he got he still was able to maintain second there. And now it's that fight to get down into that low line for a lot of these guys that were too wide, or at least on the outside. You're going to start seeing them try to dive down and try to get that track position.
Here comes the 42 of Milliken trying to take that spot away from the 9 of Marcel Johnson here. Still side by side as they come off turn 4. Looks like Kyle's going to have position here, and Wyatt Hunley going to try to follow him through there. Or you could get freight trained out there.
Oh, it's rough out there, honestly. Honestly, I haven't really ran this track all that much either. But yeah, usually, sometimes, especially in the end of the run, you're going to have a little bit more momentum, or the outside line's going to work at least for a passing zone. Not here. You really need to stay on that darker pavement, because that's where all the grip's at right now.
There's Maliki.
And really for the race.
Malikian back with us here tonight, so good to have him back. He's back here in 13th spot right now, trying to feel things out. I think he got a complete computer reset, so.
Yeah, I think he installed the new Battlefield game or the demo, and something got all jazzed up, and had to get the computer in for service. And I know he was, especially being second in points, that definitely kind of hurt him. Missing last week's race, but he's back out there. Definitely not in any position where he'll still be in the playoffs, still be able to fight for that playoff. But man, yeah, it was kind of rough. Him and Brendan were putting a pretty good fight there for that playoff position.
Yeah, fighting for that B season championship, and unfortunately that come up, and it's kind of put a damper on that. But he's back out there fighting on, and like I said, a bigger check awaits, I guess, for the playoffs. So at least he's in the playoffs, and he's going to be in good shape for that. Watching this battle between Nicholas Moreau and Jonathan Atkins. Nick is trying some different lines, trying to find a way around the 4 of Atkins. I expect Nick to be strong here for sure. Although he did struggle last week at Richmond, so if that's any indication, he could have some issues here. But he's going to look to the inside now of the 4 of Atkins, as Atkins has a little issue coming off the corner. 4 is going to chop that nose and going to hold that position.
Yeah, Nick didn't quite just get there, and Jonathan knew I got to get low, so he was able to get low, shut the door on Nick. And yeah, it's going to be tough to pass here. So they're going to have to kind of be picky and choosy. They're going to almost have to try and get him on exit to maybe try to get that preferred line getting into the corner and staying on that darker part of the asphalt. So it's a challenge for these guys. And to me, too, the corners are very deceiving. They look very round, but they're not. There's almost kind of like a flat spot in the track, so it's like you're not really following a perfect radius. And I know as a driver, it's a little deceiving, and you got to kind of like hit the apex, miss the apex, and then hit the apex again. It's kind of an odd thing, but you definitely don't want to get off that dark spot. So it's I don't know, if you do an in-car camera, you probably be able to see what I'm talking about even more. But it's a little tricky. It's a little challenging for some of these guys.
So what you're saying is it's really important to get low.
Get low, and yeah, try not to go by the yellow and white line down there. You almost kind of got to follow that arc, or you almost got to know that the arc that they drew on the track is not an actual circle. So it's a little tough. And you can definitely see it in 1 and 2, but I know it's there in 3 and 4 as well. So it's a little deceiving, and you got to kind of pay attention to that. Obviously, nobody was using a large compass or a string and a stake, to make that radius good. I mean, I'm a carpenter.
Yeah.
I would have made sure that thing would have been nuts, but
It is not a perfect art, but also I think that kind of adds a little character to the track, and you have to kind of figure that out. It gives the drivers something to try to work on. It's not, you got little intricacies of the track, and I think that can make the racing that can be otherwise mind-numbing maybe a little interesting.
Well, yeah. I mean, it does work for a racetrack. I mean, it wouldn't work if I was making somebody a table. Well, let's just put it that way. So, I mean, it is what it is.
That 15 still working over the 4 of Jonathan Atkins. Meanwhile, they've kind of run down the 52 of Brandon Elder in second right now. Everybody just kind of stationary. I'll tell you one guy that's coming, though, is that 42 of Milliken. He's starting to close up on these guys as well.
Well, with no place to go, yeah, you almost wonder if some of these guys are checking up a little bit, just waiting for that perfect opportunity to try and get on that low line to try to make that pass. But right now, yeah, JP, I mean, he's got a half a second lead over Brandon, and, kind of picking up where he left off last week. Just doing a really good job out there. I mean, JP kind of came in a little later in the race last week, but he's definitely showing his strength tonight.
We should have invited Lil John to broadcast with us tonight if it's all about getting low.
I don't even know who Little John is, but it sounds
let's check in on our chatters here, see what's going on in chat. Nothing, not a thing.
We have nobody in chat, so
well, if you guys are out there, watching this and you know who Little John is, let Tony know. I'll play you a clip after the race, and you'll know what we're talking about.
Marko's laughing, so Marko knows who Little John is. Marko, man, you're going to have to explain it to him. See, I could do an older reference. Explain it to me, Lucy, and you probably don't even know what that's talking about.
Well, if you say Lucy, I think they should know what
you're talking about. Well, maybe. So, not everybody, but I could see somebody might.
Just going back through the field a little bit, seeing where our races are. Everybody trying to find a way to get around, but you're right. Everybody's kind of settled in for now. Again, the stage lap being lap 40, everybody's just kind of racing to that point.
Yeah, that top 4 is pretty stacked up right now. So they've all caught JP. JP definitely does not have the lead that he once had, but they are all stacked up behind him, and you almost wonder if they're just kind of waiting for a little slip, a little something that they can maybe capitalize on and try to make a pass, get somebody on the outside.
You're right. Our top 4 are under a blanket now up front as the 52s caught them, or caught JP Burns, but Jonathan Atkins and Moreau have run down Brandon as well. So everybody kind of coming back together up front here. Got a 4-car fight for the lead.
Yeah, they have all kind of left Kyle Milliken out in the dust. Kyle Milliken's about almost 2 seconds away from the leader right now, but he's got Wyatt Hunley right on his tail, and the two of them are kind of duking it out. Not too bad, but they're there. I'm just kind of going back through the field too. I mean, this really is quite a bit of a single file place here. Although right now I say that, and Brendan Polk's working on Marshall Johnson right now. Brendan trying to make the outside. Well, not Marshall Johnson. He's trying to go after TJ. TJ actually gets low and passes Brendan Polk there.
There it is.
For 7th.
He gets low, he gets around Brendan Polk, so TJ Bartell up to P8.
Yeah, TJ's in the red car, and so is Marshall Johnson. So I got a little confused here. That's normal. I'm usually out there running with these guys, so I don't necessarily know the paint jobs probably as well as Richie and Brody do. So you will have to excuse me on that a little bit. At least that's my excuse, and I'm sticking with it.
But you were out there. You were out there. Yeah, I'll get you educated there. You're out there racing with these guys, though. Shouldn't you know the drivers you're racing around?
I only know the ones that I'm around, and those are usually, if it's some of the guys that are running in the back, I know exactly who those guys are. These guys up front, I can't tell who's who.
Yeah, that's right, Marco. That's right.
Yeah. Okay, I know who you're talking about now. Why was he available tonight? You mean I could have raced?
I should have reached out.
Not that I wanted to, believe me. It's a tough track, and I kind of figured, I'm not necessarily under the gun for points. So I figured, I've already missed a few races as it is. Richie's out, painting some town red like he always does. So it is what it is. It's good to be in the booth, and it's fun to watch this, to be quite honest.
Yeah, top four under a blanket up front. You got this battle for ninth back here. Brendan Polt trying to hold off Noah Nicholson in the 77. Noah up 8 spots from his starting position. Not a great qualifying run, but he's clawing his way through the field as he gets underneath the 71, going down the front.
Yeah, and I'm kind of wondering what's up with Brendan because, he's, being obviously our points lead, TJ got by him and kind of walked away from him. Now, 77 gets under him as well. It looks like he's going to start walking away from him as well. So maybe Brendan does not have the truck. Not that he needs it. I mean, he's good in points and all, but he should be able to wrap up this season B championship without a problem. He just needs to finish. But yeah, I'm just surprised he doesn't have the speed that we're usually seeing week in, week out.
Hey, maybe trying something different, knowing that nothing really is on the line. The points are kind of locked up. He's just wanting a solid night, maybe being a little consistent or a little conservative out there tonight just to lock up that championship and get ready for the playoffs, like I said, or maybe even, like I said, trying something different. Who knows?
Yeah. I mean, it could be a number of reasons, but I had to go back up front. JP actually was able to extend his lead. He's got a half a second over Brandon Elder. And I don't know if Brandon Elder's maybe getting a little loose or a little tight and maybe kind of choking up the guys behind him right now, which has allowed JP. And actually, you see Brandon now kind of getting on the light side of the track. So, yeah, he's got to be feeling a little tight out there.
Yeah, he's up the track a little bit. Looks like he might be a little tight coming off the corner. He's going to let the Ford go to the inside, I believe, here and try to see if he can do anything with him, but he is definitely falling off a little bit, way high, turning off turn 4 there. It's going to let Nicholas Moreau by as well. He's going to fall in line in 4th and try to ride this one out. 27 laps, racing to lap 40 for the stage. We're a little past halfway getting there.
Yeah, I mean, you can see Brandon for sure definitely let his teammate by, but unfortunately he got the little freight train with Nicholas, but it's all right. He's still duking it out in 4th right now. Just get that car, get that truck under you, and keep moving along. He's usually quick week in, week out, but just having maybe some ill handling right now. We'll see what Jonathan's got for JP though. He is slowly catching him. The clock, JP almost got a second out ahead of the 2 of those, the 4 and the 15, but Jonathan is slowly reeling him in.
Yeah, Brandon Elder falling way off. The 15, you're right on the back bumper of that 4 of Atkins, looking for a way around. It looks like he's got a little better truck right now, just having issues trying to find that little bit of racing room to be able to make that pass.
Well, you can tell he's being real patient, and he's just kind of waiting to see if Jonathan is going to slip up a little bit. I mean, although we know Jonathan really doesn't slip up very often, so Nick, at some point, I mean, if he's content sitting there for 3rd for another 11 laps to the stage, he might be able to do that, maybe make a pass on pit road and try to get that track position. But I'll tell you, with passing being a premium around here, track position is going to be king for a lot of these guys tonight.
It certainly is. Everybody kind of run the same pace, 1, 2, and 3 here. Brandon Elder's fallen off about 2.1 seconds off the lead here. Kyle Milliken now trying to hold off Wyatt Hundley, who's all of a sudden shown up to put pressure on him. But Marshall Johnson all over the back bumper of Hundley as well, as TJ Bartels caught this group. So now we got another 4-car battle here for 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th.
Yeah, it wasn't long ago, too. TJ went ahead and passed Brendan. And, he's been motoring and, definitely caught the group. I mean, Marshall caught, like you say, Kyle and Wyatt. So, we got another 4-car stack up. And I assume that 4-car, maybe before the speed hit stage, they might even catch Brandon Elder. So we might have like a little 5-car battle happening here.
Watching a battle happen back here, 16th and 17th, Barry Kramer. Shad Curran and Chris Beck here. Shad Curran trying to hold off the 34 of Beck, and Chris Gore right there behind him.
Yeah, that's the only area that I see right now that had any too wide action for a little while. It is definitely a single file line around here, and we've only had that one caution. It was early on, So, tires got to be wearing thin for some of these guys right now as well, especially being a flat track with no banking. I don't remember what the tire wear was like, but we always know in iRacing, tires are king, and you definitely got to preserve and save some of your stuff.
Marshall Johnson pulling low, letting TJ Bartell go by on the front stretch. I'm not sure if Marshall had an issue off the corner or just decided to fall back and give him that spot.
Well, I heard there was a little blinking issue happening maybe with Wyatt, and he it might have psyched him out a little bit. I heard that over the radio, but I'm watching Joshua O'Connor now kind of going after Brendan Polt, makes that pass. Oh, Brendan. It was he was definitely clear, but he got into three a little bit too hard and washed up the track. Brendan gave him a little bit of room though, so no harm, no foul there.
I tell you, the truck's making the moves right now. That is the 28 of TJ Bartell. I think fastest truck on the track right now, as he's run down the 20 of Huntley, who's actually underneath the 42 of Kyle Milliken. It's just a battle for 5th, 6th, and 7th right here.
And you can see Kyle. Kyle's the guy that's flashing, so maybe that's what Marshall was referring to earlier. But yeah, it's TJ is definitely he's moving, and unfortunately Kyle's on that outer sucker hole kind of freight train right now. So yeah, TJ's going to take that spot. TJ's going to take that spot.
White Huntley to 5th, TJ Bartell to 6th. Now Kyle Milliken under fire from the 9 of Marshall Johnson, trying to get that 7th spot.
I had to go back up front. JP still holding strong over Jonathan Atkins and Nicholas Moreau. And Nicholas really hasn't tried to advance his position much on Jonathan, but JP's still holding strong out there. He got 7/10 of a lead over second. Jonathan was catching him a little bit, but that, maybe the little tire wear came into play here. And man, JP's just looking great tonight. Clean air is king. We say it in the Cup Series, and I know it's true here in the Truck Series as well. So, yeah, he's moving along.
JP Burns out front with a comfortable lead. Jonathan Atkins, Nicholas Moreau, that battle's calmed down for now. Brendan Elder continues to fade a little bit, but with this battle for 5th going on, it's kind of slowed their progress to him as well. So this is the exciting battle for now, as we are getting about 4 laps away from the stage break.
Yeah, stage will be coming on. I'm assuming if somebody's going to try and make a move, it's going to happen here in the next few laps. But I don't see anything changing in our top 3 right now. Especially too, JP's actually staying in the lead over Jonathan right now. So JP's got a good long run car. It looks like he's able to make whatever he's got work for him.
Nice comfortable lead for the 99 right now. 0.7 of a second over the 4 of Atkins. And Nicholas Moreau back there as well. I got a feeling, though, that Nicholas might have a little bit better car than the 4 at this point. If he ever gets clear, we'll see if he's got anything for the 99 of J.P. Burns. But, catching them's one thing, passing them's another. And you're seeing that right now with the 15, having a hard time trying to find a way around that 4.
Well, he knows you're not going to be able to make that pass on the outside unless you have a really long run to where the tires are really worn out. You might be able to make that run, but you see Jonathan too. He just got a little bit of wide. Nick may have been able to capitalize on them if he was just a little bit closer to him. And that's really what you got to wait for. You got to wait for a car to kind of step off of that grippy part of the track and try to make your move.
Last lap of the stage here as they come around 1 and 2 for the final time before they get a little bit of a break, a little reprieve here. Maybe make some adjustments, see if they can make the truck a little bit better to try to do anything with that 99, because right now J.P. Burns looking in good shape as he comes around turns 3 and 4. Going to take the stage win here at Milwaukee with Jonathan Atkins and Nicholas Moreau 2nd and 3rd, and a distant 2nd and 3rd here at that, with Brendan Elder hanging on to 4th. Wyatt Huntley crosses the line for 5th. T.J. Bartell, Marshall Johnson, Kyle Milliken, and then Noah Nicholson and Joshua O'Connor will hang on to the final point for the stage.
Yeah, I'm pretty surprised. I mean, Brandon, we saw it get a little loose or get a little tight. But yeah, fifth and beyond did not catch Brandon. Brandon was kind of out on his own island there. And I don't know. If I was J.P. Burns, I'm probably not changing a thing. That truck looks pretty dialed in right now. Nicholas Moreau, he might want to try to to do a little gamesmanship here on the pit stop. Maybe see if he can get out in front of Jonathan.
The problem is if you're the leader and you don't change anything, if the track changes or somebody improves their car, it's really easy to get kind of lulled into, oh, it's good enough, and then somebody surprises you. So you have to be careful. You want to stay on top of the track, changes and everything. Do not get lulled into having a so-so car and then getting beat. But again, like I said, I believe track position is probably one of the most important things here. You want that clean air, you want track position, and force them to try to run you down. And right now the 99 has that as they come to pit road.
Yep, track position is for sure kind of king around here, especially just with the way the groove is. So yeah, I don't know. Like I say, Nicholas might try to do something here. I don't know if I'm going to see 2 tire stops, but we've been surprised in the past. And I know the trucks, as far as during practice yesterday, you can get about 75 laps on a tank of gas. So we'll see. We're definitely going to see at least 1 pit stall. It looks like Marshall Johnson missed his pit road. He's going to be all the way back to the field. A couple of guys look like they missed. It is very tight down pit road, so some of these guys look like even the 18, Barry Kramer had a little bit of a pit road issue where he missed his stall, had to back up.
Yeah, Marshall Johnson and Chris Beck both look like they just rolled through here. So we'll see what happens to those guys as they come back around. That's a tough break too, because you're going to lose all of that track position.
Yeah, and the pit stalls are stacked on top of each other over here as well. So you would think with the amount of space they have in there, they do have like a very short entry. The way pit road is, it's not like a typical pit road where you're coming in off of turn 4. You're actually coming in off the main straight, and the pit stalls are crazy tight. So it's probably easy to do out here.
There he comes in for his stop. Same thing with Chris Beck and Barry Kramer, all coming down for their pit stop now.
Yeah, not a good thing to happen here, but yeah, you never know what can happen.
We are 2x2 getting ready for the restart. JP Burns comes out the leader. I'm sure he was happy to see that. Maintains the lead. Jonathan Atkins second. Nicholas Moreau third. Brandon Elder fourth. TJ Bartell fifth. And then Wyatt Huntley, Noah Nicholson, Kyle Milliken, Brendan Polt, and Joshua O'Connor. Noah Nicholson gained a few spots there on pit road. We'll see if that helps him out in his climb towards the front. 9 spots up so far. And see if he's got anything for these leaders. Meanwhile, the pace car is going to pull off. We are 2x2 getting ready for the restart. They hit the restart zone there, and green flag is out, and we're racing again.
Yeah, it looks like most of the leaders kind of stayed in the same spot, with the exception, I believe, TJ Bartell actually only gained 1 spot. Yeah, JP back out in front.
Down the back street, JP's there. The 4 of Jonathan Atkins trying to put some pressure on him. JP's not having any of it. Gets a good jump off the corner, and here comes that 15 of Nicholas Moreau, who would love to have a shot here.
I kind of feel like Nicholas might play a little aggressive here early on, just to try and see if he can get by Jonathan, or at least maybe put a little pressure on him to see if he can maybe make a mistake here. I know it's kind of what's holding him up, because I do believe you're right that Nicholas. I mean, we've seen Nicholas week in, week out have a very strong truck, and a very, very fierce competitor. So I can definitely see him, wanting to take a stab at that 99, but he's got to get by the 4.
He's got to be, the 4 needs to be careful.
Yellow.
Something happened to the Fulham machine. Off of turn 4, also Chris Beck involved. Let's go back and see what happened here. Best one tire, auto care instant replay. The second caution for incident. Watching Chris Beck. Actually, let's look at Brad here. Brad Fulham getting loose off turn 4 in the 06. Just spins around. It looks like the 34 has a sympathy spin behind him and spins into it.
And actually, that 06 looked very similar to the 7. Yeah, and I'm watching the 34 kind of have the same kind of an issue. I got to go back and see what happened in the 34, but same thing with the 06. Yeah, he was the front nose was on the dark part of the pavement, and the rear end was in the light side of the pavement, and it looked very similar to Wayne Grossi earlier.
Travel more with the 34 of Chris Beck. He sees a wreck in front and jumps on the brakes and slides right into him.
Yeah, and he did have that right rear on the lighter part of the pavement, but yeah, that might have been a little bit more braking, trying to whoa for that caution. And we've seen too, like some of these Cup cars and really a lot of the cars in iRacing, they have a very heavy rear brake bias, which is a little bit unnatural, but it does throw some guys off every now and again. Especially when you're trying to brake in a corner like this, especially when you're in the middle of an acceleration and then you got to brake right away.
We got a few guys in the back of the pack stopping for, I got to believe maybe stopping for fuel.
Yeah, well, the 18, the 9 are back in the pits. Who we saw overshot their pit stall earlier. Chris Cora, the 43 is in. Obviously, the 34 is in as well.
Actually, the 9's taking tires, it looks like.
Yeah, I got to go back and see what he did. Yeah, he did. He took 4. Now, they only have 3 sets of tires here, so I don't know if that's going to hurt him later. Unless he maybe, I got to go back and maybe see, did he actually take tires through the stage? Well, let me go back and look. I know he overshot, but maybe he said, screw it, I'm not going to take tires. I'm going to play my chances here.
Could be for sure. We're going to get the one to go here. Getting ready to go back. Green flag racing here at Milwaukee. The Milwaukee 150 for the Sim Racing Points Truck Series. JP Burns continuing to lead here. Jonathan Atkins lines up in second. Nicholas Moreau, Brandon Elder, Wyatt Huntley, your top 5. And just brainstorming here. If I'm Nick Moreau on this restart, I'm starting on the inside right behind the leader. I'm going to try to get a good restart, good position on the 4, and then I can work on the 99. This is these restarts are a good opportunity for him to maybe make that pass. As you say, restarts are probably the easiest place to pass on this track.
Well, honestly, yeah, that's you make a great point. He really needs to stay on that 99 bumper and kind of choke the 4 out on the outside, and so he can maybe take that position from him. But we'll see what he does. And the number 9 of Marshall Johnson did not pit on the stage. He did drive through the stall, got some gas, didn't pit. So now he finally does have fresh tires.
All right, we're getting ready for the green flag. There it is. Green flag's out. We're racing again here at Milwaukee. Great jump for the 99 as the 4 ducks to the inside to try to protect that second spot.
Yeah, there was a little bit of checkup on the outside too with Brandon Elder. Kind of choked up the field a little bit, but they got their stuff going again. And unfortunately, Nicholas did not hear us over the radio, and he kind of blew that opportunity there. Allowed the 4 to get down.
He might have more patience.
Oh, we got DJ Bartel in the grass.
That is definitely not how you want to enter turn 3, but he hangs on to it. Was that from contact, or was that just getting loose into the corner?
He checked up for the 77, and then it looked like, I got to zoom in to see what truck that was. The 70 accidentally kind of tapped the rear end of TJ. So TJ got a little bit of tap in the front, a little bit of tap in the back there, and man, he was able to save it, though. Truck looks okay. It doesn't look like he's in too bad a shape, though.
Go back and look at that here as he checks up into the corner. A little contact through the grass. Hands onto it. Good catch. Good catch by the 28. Big save there. All good.
Definitely not what you wanted. It was definitely a brown pants moment. Unfortunately, though, TJ does have a little bit of damage on the rear end of the truck. The front end looks okay, though, but his spoiler's got a little bit of a bend up there. So I'm sure he probably wouldn't mind having another caution right away to maybe get some of that damage fixed.
That 4 keeps diving on the inside of the corner on entry, really trying to dive into the corner here. Here he's going to try it again here on the 99 of JP Burns, who's able to cover that off. He is entering really low, but what that's going to do if he's not careful, it's going to screw up his exit. The 15 is going to have an opening.
Exactly. Yeah, and you almost think, though, too, if you're not backing up your corner, you're probably burning up your tire a little bit as well. So, I can see the 15. He's trying to get underneath that 99 right now. He's really definitely trying to spook JP and just trying to get him to wash up the track.
To be honest with you, it looks kind of like a desperation move by the 4. I wonder if he just is he's decided at this point that he's not got anything for him on the long run. He's going to try to get him on the short run, and if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen.
Well, yeah, honestly, it does kind of look like that as well. And I'm watching the 15 in tow, and he's basically just kind of laying back. He sees the writing on the wall because he knows that if the Ford keeps this up, the Ford's going to probably burn up the stuff, or he's going to wreck the two of them up front, and it's going to put him in the catbird seat anyway. So right now, Nicholas is probably in the win-win situation right now. Either at some point, he's going to, the Ford's going to eventually burn up the stuff, and he'll be able to get by the Ford and then go after the 99.
Watching Joshua O'Connor and TJ Bartell battle. That is the front to back contact that happened earlier with the 70 on the 28. Now the 70 does get by the 28. Joshua O'Connor up to 10th spot. Or 9th spot.
And TJ's, they're still running side by side on, or no, they did cycle out. I was not fully synced up yet, but yeah, he was able to get by him. It looked like TJ was putting up a pretty good fight there on the outside, trying to make that happen. But I bet you that that little bit of rear spoiler damage he has right now is probably not hurting him. We might not be seeing the TJ we saw earlier today.
Or he may be hanging out. He's been known to kind of be one of those long run guys who shows up late in the race. So we'll see what happens here. So Ford gets really wide coming off turn 2. But the 15 not close enough to pounce there. I tell you what, Atkins is taking an interesting line around this track. He's entering really low and now exiting kind of high off the corner.
Yeah, he definitely is in kind of a desperation mode right now, like you were saying. And it just looks like he's, to me, it looks like he's burning up his stuff too much. I mean, he's wasting what he has, and I think it's going to hurt him in the long run here. This early game he's trying to go after, I don't think it's going to be beneficial for him later on.
Well, if we get a caution and it resets things, it is not going to matter to him whatsoever.
Yeah, maybe not. And but I don't know. With everybody being single file like this and really starting to get spread out right now, the caution level does not. The caution, the chance for a caution, I should say, is not as great as it would be, opposed to, say, like a restart.
Got Shad Curran back here falling kind of through the field at this point. Marshall Johnson to the inside of him. Jeff Chandler just able to get by in front of those guys, 15th, 16th, and 17th.
Well, we know Marshall Johnson does have a set of freshies on him, so he should have a little bit of an advantage.
Oh, we got a spinner on the front stretch. Cameron Albertson loose off the corner in the 78. Does he keep it rolling? He does, and we're going to stay green.
Wow. Washed up the track. It looked like a hair of net code, but it was enough to kind of get him to fully turn him around. But, man, yes, kept it straight at least. Did have some wall damage. No caution. Definitely lost a lot of track position. But
as you were talking about nothing to cause a caution out there, there's things out there that
I've been known to be wrong from time to time. It doesn't happen often, but
some of these guys race. Dang, you know what? Shaq Curran's having some issue. I wonder if did he not take tires or something? He's back on pace now, but Johnson around Chandler there for 14th.
Yeah, well, Marshall, like I say, he might have 2-lap newer tires than some of these other guys out there, but he did have a fast truck early on too. He got queued in the top 5, I believe, and he was looking pretty sharp in practice as well. So he's got a good truck tonight. Trying to make a pass over Wayne Grossi on the outside right now. Not quite there, but he's pinching Wayne, and it looks like he might be able to get him by the line here.
Got a strong truck. Trying to make that work on the outside. He lifts and lets that kind of settle in, but he is still trying to get it around the 7 of Grassi.
Well, I think he's kind of gotten to that outer line mindset now, and he needs to kind of get back down low again. And you don't want to lose that entire tire advantage. I mean, even though you might only have 2-lap tire advantage, you don't want to give it all up running the outside line there. I had to go back up front, and JP still commanding this race, 3/10 over Jonathan Atkins. Nicholas Moreau still in tow. Brandon Elder 3rd. Wyatt Huntley 4th. or 5th. So we really haven't seen much change in the top 5, although they have a 2-second lead basically over 6th place right now. So, or maybe a second and a half over. Wyatt has about a second and a half over Noah Nicholson in 6th. So not really a blanket. I mean, the top 3 are still under that little bitty blanket, and then we got a little fight that might be happening here between teammates for 4th here in a little bit with Brandon and Wyatt.
Yeah, top 3 still right there together. J.P. Burns leading, Jonathan Atkins in 2nd, Nicholas Moreau in 3rd. They continue to run those unique lines. Ford diving into the corner, like a dive bomb type situation, but it's costing him on exit. And here's the 15 right on the back bumper of the Ford. Can he do anything into turn 1? Nothing happening right now, but he is right there, ready to pounce.
Nicholas is definitely being patient right now, and he's definitely probably even saving some. Ooh, gets a little loose though on exit.
Both of them got a little loose there. They lose a little time to the 99. Every time the Ford dives into that corner hard like that, it costs them on exit. And you see the 14 or the 15 just close right up on the back bumper there.
And I almost would say too, with the 15 towing so close to the 4 right now, it might be screwing up the 15's line a little bit. And just trying to play offense with a guy that's definitely doing something not normal that might kind of screw up your line as well. So, I don't know exactly what the 4's doing, but he's still running 2nd. So he's still holding that spot pretty well. But like I say, I don't know how much longer it's going to last with the line he's running.
He's running a unique line. He's making it work.
Yeah.
This is a unique track, so why not try something unique?
Well, and that he is. Blasting through the back of the field, though. I don't really see too much else. We're all pretty much spread out. There's a few guys here. Marshall Johnson is up to 13th right now. He's got some clean air kind of in his own island, trying to catch Robert Malikian. So let's see if he's got those tires to maybe catch that pack. I mean, that's probably the biggest pack we have right now, and there's about 5 cars. They're not even super tight either, but they're probably the 5 cars that are closest to each other right now.
Mark Kyle Henderson out there in chat said, watch the 28, thinks he found something. I don't know if that was before or after he went through the grass there, because then he said something about Tokyo drifting. So,
that was all before the incident. Yeah, I think it was even before we had the stage, but PJ's still hanging in there. I know he probably definitely would love to see a caution just to maybe get some of that damage fixed, though. He's definitely not looking like he was before. But he is in that 5-car pack right now. He's the 4th car in that 5-car pack. And it's going to be a 6-car pack because Marshall is closing in on them pretty fast.
Yeah, Brendan Holt actually leading this pack. And look, he's kind of holding everybody up. The 42 Milliken right behind him. Looking anxious, looking like he's wanting to make a move here.
Yeah, Kyle almost looks like he's kind of running a similar line as Jonathan Atkins as well. But he's definitely trying to get under him now. He's got that line.
Yep, he comes to the bottom on the straightaway. Let's see if he can carry that off into turn 1. Trying to make the move on the 71 or points leader. Looks like he's going to get that done through 1 and 2. He's going to take over that 8th position.
Yeah, that outside line is definitely just not productive at all. You could just, it's kind of death. When you get stuck out there or when you get forced out there, there's really not much you can do with it. And we see right now Chad Lang getting under TJ Bartel. Trying to make that, or trying to really defend that position. TJ was trying to get him on the outside.
These guys are really starting to skate around a little bit. We're on lap 73. Getting close to that 40 lap mark that we had before for tires on the stage. And then after that, it's kind of an unknown to see what these guys have for tires.
Well, they had 110 after the stage, if you figure to go. So you figure that's about 55 laps. We might see pit stops within, maybe 90 to 105, I'm going to say. Most of the field will probably be coming in at that time. They will not be able to make it on gas, so they are going to have to pit at some point. So if we do stay green, I'm calling anywhere between 90 to 105. So they still got about another 20 laps to go before pit starts, pit stalls, pits are going to be happening. I can't even speak today.
You see the 3 get around the 71 of Polt. That's for 9th spot. Three's looking pretty good as well as TJ Bartell's on the outside of Robert Malikian, but there's Marshall Johnson. You were talking about him back there. Just a few lap fresher tires, but every little bit helps as you start to catch this pack.
Yeah, and unfortunately, TJ with that little rear end damage, and he's stuck on the outside as well too. So I don't know if Marshall might give him a little bit of a break here. And he does. He kind of falls in line. But yeah, Brendan definitely does not have a long run car tonight, and he's kind of getting eaten up the longer we go.
Well, it was really close between Malikian and the 71 of Polk through the corner, almost contact, but they hold on to it. Now the 9's going to look to the inside of not only TJ, but he dives into the inside of the 61 of Malikian.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, he did. He just got back by TJ, and now he's working on Robert Malikian. He's still got that preferred inside line. Well, he might lose it here, but I think he's going to dive it right back in, try and get that position from Malikian.
9 dives in.
Yeah,
up the track a little bit. But he gets a good run off the corner. That's going to position him to the inside of the 16, maybe not quite.
Yeah, they're still fighting for that spot. And unfortunately, yeah, I don't think, I think Marshall's got a much quicker car than Brendan Bolt right now. And unfortunately, I think that Brendan's kind of hurting Marshall because you can see Robert now getting on the outside of Brendan. So definitely Robert was able to kind of capitalize on Brendan, using Brendan kind of as a pick there. It looks like
they continue to battle for what is a 10th spot right here.
Yeah, it's really kind of the most action we've got on the track right now. And, going back up front, I'm looking at J.P. Burns still holding a commanding lead. He's got 4/10 over Jonathan Atkins. Jonathan's line looks like it has kind of tightened up a little bit. He's definitely kind of back on the preferred line, or at least the normal line. Put a little bit of a gap over on Nicholas Moreau as well. So not really much has changed there, but, man, JP's just got a strong truck tonight and just looking really good. And, we're almost at that 40 lap mark where he had a good second lead over second place. So we should be seeing, him start maybe even pulling out a little bit further compared to some of these other guys. His exit looks awesome right now. He definitely's got a much better exit than both Jonathan and Nicholas at this point. So we'll see how that goes. I know Brody had to step away for a second, so he's got Robert Malikian on the camera, so we're still kind of watching him. Unfortunately, Robert's kind of in his own no man's land right now, and I'm still kind of looking at Marshall Johnson behind him, trying to work on Brendan Polt right now.
Yeah, Marshall trying to make that move on the 71 of Polt. Got those a little bit fresher tires, still trying to find the 70. 71 continues to struggle tonight. Kind of surprising to see him come in here and struggle like he is.
Honestly, yeah. I mean, but like you said, maybe he's trying something different. Maybe just didn't feel like he needed the practice. Maybe he felt like, hey, I got this championship sewed up right now, and I'm just going to go out here and run my laps and take my trophy. Which, I mean, I guess it's perfectly acceptable. So, maybe he doesn't like this track either. I mean, it is a tough track, and as you can see, too, passing is definitely tough around here, and a lot of guys have been having a lot of issues. And
here goes
there goes Marshall.
It looks like the 71 kind of got up on the curb through 1 and 2 a little bit there, kind of threw him up the track. It's going to open the door for the 9 of Marshall Johnson. Here comes TJ Bartell, not able to do anything, so put Marshall up to 11th spot from the back of the field. So all that talk about being tough to pass, he's making it work out there.
He's making it work for sure, and I mean, but he's been playing the patience game as well, and I did see him make 1 or 2 passes on the outside, but he's still kind of waiting for that inside lane to open up to make that pass, which is something that Nicholas Monroe is kind of waiting on. He's still right on the bumper of Jonathan Atkins, maybe a little bit closer now than he was about 5 laps ago, and J.P. Burns is still holding that almost half a second lead over second right now. So. And JP, first time this evening, he's starting to catch a lap traffic. He's got Joseph Burgess in his windshield. So hopefully Joseph is going to maybe kind of give him the preferred line and let him continue that lead.
Well, I hope it doesn't jinx him or anything. But what a run the 99 of Burns is on. Won the race last week. A little bit of strategy involved, but had a fast truck, got out front, and nobody could touch him. And won the pole tonight. So far, as I think led every lap out front. So good for him.
Yes, he has led every lap so far. Just been holding it strong, and he's actually worked that lead out. Joseph Burgess did give him that preferred line, and I'm looking at the time clock right now. He's got an 8 tenths lead over Jonathan Atkins. So kind of similar to what he did early on before the stage. He had that almost second lead, 8 tenths lead over second over that stage, and he's got that long run car sewed up. The question is, though, pit strategy.
Yeah.
What are we going to do? And like I say, I'm calling people. Maybe you're going to be showing up here in the next 10 laps or so. We might be seeing a lot of the field coming in. This is probably one of those tracks where you might want to try that undercut. I don't know if you even want to stay out too late. I mean, to me, I think track position is king, and you definitely do want to be stuck behind a few cars, even if you do have a little bit fresher tires. We know how passing is going to be a huge premium, and the way everybody's spread out tonight too. I don't know. I might be opted to actually pit a hair earlier than some of these other guys out there.
Yeah, I like being the leader in this situation because in my mind, if this stays green, I'm just racing the two guys behind me. It's the only two I need to worry about. Brandon Elder is 4.5 or 3.5 seconds back. I don't even need to worry about him. If I'm the leader, I let those guys blink first, and I come in a lap or two after those guys, and that's it. Because I've got a little bit of a lead now. If I'm Burns, I've got a good bit of a lead here, enough of a lead to kind of cover off, I think, an early pit stop. Let them blink first, and I'll just mirror whatever they do.
Yeah, and actually, yeah, that is probably the good strategy. The big issue here too is the pit road, and we talked about that earlier on. Some of these guys might not be used to this pit stall, and you're definitely going to have to. I think your entry is slightly easier, yet slightly complicated because you're not really braking in a corner like you normally would for a pit stall, but you still got to kind of hit that mark and kind of make that zigzag into pit road and get under, get slowed down in time. So it is going to throw a little bit of challenge for some of these guys. And if we do have these green flag stops, which I believe we're probably going to have, because we are getting close to that window here.
So here's the things you need to watch. Pit speed, because pit speed's really slow. I think at 30 miles an hour, maybe 35. I can't really remember right off.
I'll have to look myself, but yeah.
So you let me know, because that's the first thing. What?
Pit road speed limit is 45.
Oh, it is 45. Okay, but that's still pretty slow. So pit
right.
entry is going to be an issue. So holding your pit speed. The second thing is getting in your box. These boxes are so small. We saw issues under yellow. Imagine trying to pit under green. You got to hit your box. You got to be in the right spot. You got to be the right distance away from the wall and not too far out. You got to be right on point. It's really important to hit that box. We've seen a lot of people miss their box in some of these specialty tracks. So we'll see if that happens. And third, the in and out laps are going to be really important, especially coming out on cold tires. You got to be careful coming around. Don't get a penalty entering the track too early around 1 and 2. And then get your tires up to speed. Don't slide them. Don't get sideways on exit on the next couple laps because your tires are going to be cold. All that goes into having a good pit sequence. And on top of all that, you're hoping that the caution doesn't come out while you're doing it.
True. Well, and you also forgot, too, that the pit exit is pretty tight. It's a pretty tight ribbon kind of getting back onto the track, too. So you got to be careful. I mean, we talked about how the actual racing line isn't a really great arc. Well, pit lane isn't a great arc either. So, it does get a little choked up here and there. So you're going to have to kind of pay attention to that as well. So it's difficult all the way around this place. But JP, though, since we talked to JP, he's increased his lead to 1.1 second over second right now. So, like you said, if he waits till the second and third place, maybe come in for that pit road and come in a lap or two afterwards, he should be sitting pretty.
He's got a gap. He's in a good spot because, like I said, there's other guys can make a move and he could just match them because he's got a little bit of room to play with now. They're not going to be right on him. So you can kind of watch what they do and kind of just mirror what they do. When they decide to pit, you pit. You're racing those two behind them, and that's about it. That is if it stays green.
That's always a big key. Well, and we know lap 95 is halfway as far as if they want to split the last part of the race halfway, 95 is the key number here. So we're just going to have to see if We're gonna have to see who's going to take, who's going to go. I'm kind of surprised we haven't seen maybe one or two cars try to get in before that, but I don't know. These guys always seem to surprise me week in, week out. Even when I'm watching or even on the track, they're always doing some sort of shenanigans out here.
We'll see what happens. No pit stops yet. Marshall Johnson looking back, just kind of keeping track of him. He's kind of mirrored the 16 who's caught the 3 as well. And then right in front of him is Kyle Milliken. So a little bit of a group right there. And I know Marshall's still working with those extra tires or fresher tires. So I'm sure he was pretty happy to see this go green. If he's used an extra set, I'm not sure he has, but if he's used an extra set, this green flag run's really going to help him get in a window where he's got the same amount of tires that everybody else does.
Well, he was on the same tire because, like I say, he did not, and I can confirm, even though he missed the box the first time around, he came in the second time around and just got gas, stayed out on old tires. So then we had that quick caution. That's when he did take tires. So he definitely has maybe 1 or 2 lap newer than everybody else. So he should have the same amount as everybody else. But everybody else, I'm assuming, still has 2 sets left in their pit stall. So everybody should be all right as far as that goes. Man, JP with the long run car. I mean, we just talked to him. He's 1.1. He's at 1.4 right now. So yeah, he is still just motoring away.
Yeah, he's definitely got a long run truck, it looks like. I mean, short run's good too. He's able to hang on the short run, even with the Ford trying to do everything he could to kind of interfere with his line and everything. He just kind of maintains cool, calm, and collected. And now it's just kind of driving off in the long run.
Well, the Ford's doing a pretty hell of a job, pretty good job as well. We were able to stay ahead of Nick. He actually pulled a little bit of gap off of Nick as well. So Nick doesn't necessarily even have a good long run car himself. And whatever Jonathan was doing early on that I thought maybe would have hurt him, obviously has not. He's still kind of holding it strong in second.
Hanging on in P2, Nicholas Moreau P3. Brandon Elder's still hanging on to that 4th spot. We thought Wyatt might charge up there and challenge him for the lead. While Wyatt's right there, he's not very, very close. So Brandon just hanging on in 4th spot there. And a couple of teammates, 4, the 52, the 21, all in the top 5.
Yeah, definitely. Brandon had it looked like he had a little bit of issue before the stage, but maybe got the truck a little tweaked on. But yeah, he's looking pretty good now. At least he doesn't look like he looked before the stage. Definitely staying ahead of his teammate right now. Even got a pretty good gap on him as well. So I'm just waiting. We're hitting lap 100 now. When are these guys coming in?
We got a few.
We do got to look.
Chris Gore, Chris Beck in pit road. So the start of our sequence has begun.
Now the big question is, when are the leaders coming? Are we gonna see that undercut maybe by Atkins or Nicholas Moreau? Does JP say he wants to come in first? I don't know.
There's what 43 there of Lewis Maglin going a lap down.
Yeah, I mean, JP is he just keeps picking them off one by one. Wayne Grossi's the next on the list, although Wayne Grossi's probably got a good quarter of a track in front of front of him.
Got pit stops. Marshall Johnson, TJ Bartell on pit road. So Marshall coming in early. I'm kind of surprised. I thought he might be one of the later ones, but he's wanting to come down and get those new tires right now.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if TJ stays in a little bit longer, maybe try to get a little bit of that damage fixed. But yeah, Marshall probably could have stuck it out a little bit longer. Although, I mean, you got 49 laps to go on the rest of this race here, and
Jeff Chandler hits pit road.
I have to go back to the leaders every time they start getting close to to pit road, just making sure, waiting for somebody to dive in there. Nobody this time around. Be sure nice if they were to call it out for us, but they're not. It looks like we do have one taker. Lou, Malik.
Here goes JP Burns through 3 and 4. One more time. He's going
Yeah.
to stay out. It's hard to tell. They're running so slow off that corner sometimes. It's hard to tell whether or not they're slowing down for that or not.
Yeah. Well, usually too. I mean, we're used to seeing somebody actually get down into pit road, but there really isn't a pit road here. So they come off of that turn 4, and we don't know if they're going to dive in at the last minute or not. Definitely a unique track, and it throws off the drivers and it throws off us in the booth as well tonight. So,
championship leader Brendan Polt in the pits. Top 3 stay out. And I tell you got to be nervous here too, though, because if you do pit, you do not want to see a caution. It could be devastating here because you're going to lose at least a lap coming to pit road.
Oh yeah, easily, and. There again, and what did we say? I believe even on Monday too. Some of the guys with the newer tires, they're going to have a lot more pace. So not only are you looking at your windshield, now you got to start looking at.
Here comes your leader, 99. JP Burns hit pit road. Jonathan Atkins going to follow him in. Nicholas Moreau all on the same lap. Brandon Elder's going to stay out with Wyatt Huntley.
Jonathan had a late entry getting in there, but I think he's okay. Still was able to make it.
See if JP Burns has a good solid stop, gets in his box. Going to take 4 tires here.
Well, I can definitely say everybody's taking 4. I don't think we're going to see any 2 tires trickery out there. Although Nicholas Monroe gets out before JP does.
Oh, man.
I got to go back, too, to see if Nicholas took 2 or 4 there.
Jonathan Atkins still sitting on pit road, obviously speeding on pit road. Oh, that's devastating for the 4.
Not good. Yeah, definitely not good. And, Monroe did take 4, but was able to get out of the box a little sooner. I'm going to have to go look at Jonathan Atkins. Like I say, his entry, he kind of got late, and I don't know if maybe he did cross the line properly or had a bad pit entry. He's definitely was... I don't think he was speeding.
We had this kind of play out. I remember the race at Texas. JP Burns was leading there as well, and he lost the lead to Nicholas Moreau on pit road there as well. So, man, this is played out once again for JP Burns. This is not... Oh, JP Burns sideways off turn 4, trying to make it up. And now this is exactly what I'm talking about. You got to be careful with those cold tires. He's so loose off the corners. He's trying to make that time up, and he's lost a little more time there to Nicholas Moreau, who's our pseudo leader at this point.
Definitely not what he wanted to see happen. And man, had such a great run tonight. But he's still got a little bit of chance to kind of make that up here. He did have a good long run car. I mean, you're not going to have the long run like you had before, but anything can happen here.
Jack Kern, currently your leader. Wayne Grossi second. You got Nicholas Moreau right on the back bumper for him right there. He's going to go around the outside and retake second spot. But a couple of those guys staying out long, trying to make this work, hoping for a caution.
Oh, yeah, kind of sad. But yeah, Chad Lang, Shad Kern and Wayne Grossi still out there.
Here comes Wayne.
They're hoping. Yeah, they're hoping for that yellow.
Wayne comes to pit road now. Shad Kern, the last driver to pit here up front. I tell you what, Marshall Johnson's made up some positions by pitting early as well, up to 7th spot. It's going to gain a couple more positions. Going to find himself in the top 5, I believe, once pit stop's complete.
Yeah, he's got clean air in front of him now too, and we know he's got a pretty quick truck. Although he is getting dive bombed by the 77 right now. And he's got a group of guys. He might get freight train here on the outside. He's going to have to try and see if he can hang on to that. Robert Maliki in underneath him. And then looks like the 70 of Josh O'Connor. And then you got Jonathan Atkins, too. He is definitely losing a few spots here.
Yeah, Atkins actually a couple laps down after that penalty on pit road. Or at least 1 lap down. Jack Kern will continue to circulate out here as your leader, the 66. Still open for something. This is this one of them Hail Mary moves.
Well, you have 70. I can't imagine he's going to be out there much longer because you only got about 75 laps in the tank. And if you pitted on lap, say 40, even if you were a little late, he's going to have to be coming in another 3 or 4 laps here. I can't imagine he'd be out there much longer.
Well, listen, we saw how great the 99 of Burns was on the long run. This is not over. He could still maybe claw back in the 15, although the 15 looked a little bit better on the short run than the 4 even was. But we'll have to see if that 99 of Burns can use that long run speed to close this gap and make a race of it.
Yeah, well, like I said, he definitely does not have the amount of laps that he had, within the second part of our race here. But anything can happen. I mean, Nicholas might get caught up by some lap traffic here and there. You never know. I'm looking at the time though. I mean, JP's got a 2-second deficit over Nicholas. So and it looks like Shad is coming in now. So I was right. He didn't have much laps left on that in that tank.
Are you living in the future?
I thought I heard him call it over the radio.
Okay, well, he's in 3 and 4.
Did he not? Is he not going in?
He is. He is not coming in.
Well, maybe it was somebody else I heard. Maybe I'm hearing things again. There's this guy. He talks to me.
Oh, God.
I could have sworn I heard somebody say they were going in. I thought it might have been Shad.
Well, he's still out there. He's still circulating. So he's in turn 3 again. Let's see if he puts this time by.
I can't imagine he's got much left in that tank, to be quite honest.
Here he comes. Now he's coming to pit road. Go ahead, Tony. Say it.
I think Shad Kern's coming to pit road.
There he is. He is. He's on pit road at this time.
Yes, I got it right. But as we were joking, Nicholas Moreau actually pulled out about a half a second to JP. So JP is definitely not in any momentum right now to kind of catching Nicholas, which is very unfortunate. Brandon Elder is about 2.5 seconds a little away from JP, sewed up in third. He's got about 8 to 9 tenths ahead of his teammate Wyatt Huntley too. So. Then you have Joshua O'Connor in 5th right now, and he's 11 seconds off the leader, but he's got about 3 seconds off of 4th place. So our top 5 is pretty much spread out is where I'm going with this. And, unless we get a caution, it's going to basically be a little bit of a parade here until, for the next 33 laps.
Yeah, I gotta say I'm impressed with O'Connor. He's up 16 actually. 16 spots from his starting position up in 5th. Having a good night, doing a good job right now, working his way through the field. Same thing with the 77 behind him of Noah Nicholson. Started in 16th, he's up to 6th, up 10 spots. In the 77, having a solid night tonight as well.
Yeah, Joshua for sure. He's definitely our hard charger for the night. Yeah, I mean, like you said, up 16 spots, and he's got about a second gap over Noah Nicholson in 6th right now too. So. Again, everybody's pretty much scattered around this track. And I don't think there's actually one battle that I can find right now that's really happening for a position.
Well, you just had Brendan Polk get around the 43 of Lewis Meglin for 12th.
All right, well, I'm wrong again. So I guess there is a little bit.
I don't know that was much of a battle. Look, he just drove around in 43. Having some struggles tonight, so the 71's going to drive off from him.
Well, and too, with a lot of the different tire strategies, some guys might know that, hey, this guy's got a little bit fresher than me. I'm just going to let him go. I don't want to hold him up.
Battle between Noah. Oh, the 4 and well, they got history. The 4 of Jonathan Atkins diving to the inside of the 77 of Noah Nicholson. The 4 being a lap down and trying to make up some ground there.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's sitting in 22nd right now. He is the 7th car a lap down. So, I mean, even a caution may or may not help him unless he tries to get the wave around. But, with this late in the race right now, with only about 30 more to go, his night's not looking too promising, especially after having such a great night running in second pretty much for the entire race. But I'm going to have to give it to Nicholas. We see him week in, week out. A lot of patience happened, and he had a great pit stop, and that really kind of catapulted him and putting him out in front right now. And he is still kind of gaining that lead over J.P. Burns. I mean, he's got plenty of clean air in front of him as well. He's catching one or two lap cars every couple of laps. He's getting ready to lap Jonathan Burgess right now, or he's getting there. He's catching him pretty quick, but just set sail, and still kind of producing faster lap times than JP. He's about 10th quicker every lap, so he's got a rocket right now. Just been playing that patience game all night, and it's paid off again.
Everything came down to that pit stop, if you think about it. The 15 was able to get that lead. That was so important to get that fresh air, get out in front of the 99, and he's kind of pulled away. The 4 with his penalty on pit road, just so costly. I mean, we knew that pit stop was going to be so important, and that turned out to be the case for sure. It's kind of flipped the top 3 here, sort of, I guess. I guess Nicholas went from 3rd to 1st. JP lost the lead, fell to 2nd, and the 4 of Atkins having his issues on pit road. He's going to be kicking himself for that too, because he really had a shot here, especially with Moreau getting the lead. You would think that the 4 maybe would have leaped him as well there.
Well, and honestly, I think, and I don't know exactly what happened to Jonathan. Like I say, it didn't look like he sped on pit road, but he did kind of cross the pit road lines, maybe in a way that iRacing didn't like, and that's where his penalty came from. Being second, trying to dive in after JP, he didn't really have enough time to react, and obviously Nicholas had plenty of time to react because being 3rd. So being second place probably hurt him a little bit, and that may have been the cause alone of just his pit road issues.
Well, I got to say, Nicholas has shown patience all night, right in there behind the 4 of Atkins so long. A lot of times, a lot of us would get impatient trying to make something happen with that 4, but he just kind of sit there and let it happen. He was calm, took care of his stuff, and then when it mattered, I guess on pit road tonight, he pounced, was able to come out the lead, and here he is leading with 24 laps to go.
Well, I was saying since we started, he was showing a lot of patience early on and just kind of waiting for stuff to happen. He played the long game tonight. Just kind of being patient and waiting for it. He knew he didn't really necessarily need the stage points. He didn't really push the issue too much. He was just kind of staying with the leaders, not really pushing the issue, saving his car, saving it. And he really just needed to make that pit stop work, and by God, he did. He made it work fine.
Watching Wyatt Huntley try to run down the 52 of Elder, and Wyatt completely sideways off turn 4 there, trying to get the power down.
Yeah, I think the team orders might be going out the window here in these closing laps. He's definitely trying to make something happen there. Although Brandon, like I say, he got that truck dialed in right now and sitting solidly in 3rd. He might have a little company, though, with another few laps to go here, but right now is looking really good.
And this thing's not over. We still have 22 laps left, and I'll just say it this way. Anything can happen. I'm not going to say what could happen, but anything can happen to really mix this up here at the end. We're hoping for a good, clean race here to the end, but you never really know. And so you want to stay in it to the end, because you don't know. You might get a late race restart and have to be able to try to take advantage of that.
Well, I know there's probably a good maybe 10 cars or so that are probably hoping for that caution, like you're talking about. But then there's a few guys out there right now, Nicholas Moreau in particular, that's like, nope, I wanted the thing to stay green, and he wants to finish this. He's almost got a 4-second lead over JP. JP, unfortunately, he's just hemorrhaging time lap by lap. But he's really got second place kind of sewed up, and if he doesn't mind finishing second, he's got almost an 8-second lead over Brandon Elder right now. So neither first nor second are really in any position to lose a spot if they just stay on the track and keep it clean right now. So, but everybody else, I'm sure, and we only have 13 cars on the lead lap right now. They wouldn't mind having a caution right now. I'm going to tell you right.
You know who the last car on the lead lap is right now?
Our points leader, yep.
The 71 of Brendan Polt. What a disappointing night for the 71. He's had such great consistent runs. Been in the top 5 almost every race, but tonight he has completely missed the setup or something tonight. He's a little off the pace there in 13th. So again, like I said, in the grand scheme of things, does it really matter? No, not really. And if you're just coming, like you got the B season pretty much locked up, as long as you have a solid night, no big issues. But man, you got to ask yourself though, or at least we do, what if, because the 16 Malikian's running 7th right now, he would have definitely made up points in this race. Just a shame that the 16 missed last week.
Well, yeah, you would wonder what the difference would be if Malikian did make last week's race. Would Brennan, would he have shown up? Or, again, this could just be one of these tracks, I mean, I know you and I both, we have tracks that we just don't like, we're not great at, we struggle to grasp, I guess you would say, and, this could just be one of those tracks for Brendan. He's had such a great season. I mean, I guess you're allowed to have 1 or 2 mulligans, and this might be his mulligan tonight. And if you're going to have a mulligan, I guess this would probably be the mulligan you probably wouldn't mind having.
Hold on, we just missed something. All of a sudden, a 70 of Joshua O'Connor's up to P3. He's gotten around Wyatt Huntley, got around Brandon Elder. So O'Connor all of a sudden shot out of a cannon up to 3rd spot.
That's pretty wild. Yeah, I didn't even notice that. But yeah, you're right. He did. He came out of nowhere, and I almost wonder. I'm going to have to go back and see what lap he pitted compared to Brandon Elder.
Because he did. He not only Wyatt Huntley but Elder, both those guys. He got around those guys pretty easily there. No Nicholson trying to chase them down as well. But they're a little bit up the road. But Wyatt Huntley right on the back of Brandon Elder. But yeah, O'Connor's passed him and pulled away. He is gone.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. Because but I just looked. Brandon and both Wyatt Huntley, they both pitted at lap 107. Joshua O'Connor pitted 1 lap later, 108. But yeah, maybe he made some magical changes to that truck, and they had a little luck on his side too. Yeah,
it's hooked up. Looks like. He's gotten around both of them. He's got the 4 of Atkins a lap down right behind him.
Yeah, and I think and the 4 probably even got a little bit fresher tires. He's probably not trying to push the 70 much, but he's still kind of hanging right there with him, and at least the 70's still trying to staying ahead of him. So yeah, he's definitely in a good spot for 3rd right now, and. I don't know. I don't see anybody else creeping up that quickly. I have to go back and look at like Marshall Johnson or somebody else that kind of shocked us a little bit early on just to see if there's anybody else. Marshall right now is kind of working on Robert Malikian for 7th. He's kind of like all over his bumper. That looks to be one of the closest battles on the track as it is right now.
Yeah, O'Connor currently in 3rd. He's got 9 seconds up to J.P. Burns, so he's not going to be able to get there in 13 laps. But he is pulling away from Brandon Elder, so he's kind of in a bubble of his own. Meanwhile, J.P. Burns is now 4.8 seconds back of our leader, the 15, Nicholas Moreau. So it looks like he's not going to be able to close that gap here as Nick kind of cruises off into the sunset. And that number 15 looking for win number 12 of the Sim Racing Points Truck Series going into the playoffs. That's what he needs, another win, some more playoff points. That's what he's looking for tonight. As we come around, we're going to see 11 laps to go here at Milwaukee.
Yeah, patience definitely has helped him out tonight. Not to mention, I almost kind of feel like not only was a little bit of patience, but a little bit of sandbagging as well. He definitely had a strong truck and just was kind of laying back a little bit, letting the thing unfold. And we obviously see what kind of truck he's got right now, because he is still pulling away from J.P. Burns. It's still running about a 10th quicker than J.P. as it is. So definitely got a hot truck tonight.
Mark Howell out there said, what we trying to jinx, what do you say? We're trying to curse a caution? Nah.
No, but I'm sure there's a lot of people out there in the trucks right now saying, caution, come on, give me a caution.
Yeah, now I'm sure there'd be some guys out there cursing if there was a caution.
That as well, yeah.
As Nicholas Moreau's come around, it's going to be 9 laps to go here in Milwaukee. He's got a nice 4.6 second lead over J.P. Burns in second. Joshua O'Connor up to third. Another great run by that 70 truck here tonight.
Looks like Jonathan Atkins did get around the 70, obviously not for position, but he's trying to salvage some of his night, maybe even make up some spots over these over some of the cars that are also a lap down. But he has moved up a little bit. He's in 18th right now, but definitely he's still got about 5 more cars that he needs to pass. And Brendan Polkey in the first car a lap down right now.
Brendan Elder in 4th, pulled away a little bit from Wyatt Huntley. Got a 1 second lead over Huntley for 4th over 5th. Huntley having a good solid night in 5th place. Noah Nicholson in 6th trying to run down Huntley. 7th for Robert Malikian here is running with Marshall Johnson right on his tailgate.
Yeah, those two are probably the closest on the track right now, although I do see Kyle Milliken and TJ Bartel as well trying to battle it out for 9th. TJ's kind of all over Kyle, and TJ still has a little bit of the rear end damage, so he has obviously not gotten anything fully fixed yet, but he's still kind of strong out there.
TJ hanging on to that final spot in the top 10 in 10th position. Trying to do one better, though, with Kyle Milliken right in his front windshield.
Yeah, unfortunately, he probably needed an actual yellow so he could have got that rear end completely fixed, but the spoiler still got a little bit of a crookedness to it along with the bumper from that early, grass. Oh, getting a little loose trying to get on the exit of 2 there. He was really close to Kyle's bumper, too, getting ready to maybe try to sneak a little pass.
This track's all about patience. Patience in putting that throttle down, patience in turning the corner, patience in trying to, you see the 42, Milliken have a little issue coming off the corner there.
Yeah, I think the amount of laps, I think people are just kind of trying to hang on right now. And I mean, it even looks like Moreau has slowed down his pace about 0.2 right now because JP is slightly reeling him in. I mean, obviously there's not nearly enough time for JP to do anything with it, but yeah, Nicholas Moreau has definitely slowed down his pace a little bit, just trying to bring her home. Probably doesn't want to. He's still catching the 3 of Chad Lang right now, which will be the next car lap down. But I don't think he's really even trying to push that issue.
He's got it back here, just trying to get every last position they can in this last race of the B season before we start the playoffs and the C season. Just trying to get every little, just the last little bit of squeeze here as we got 4 laps to go, 3 laps to go.
And Nicholas just got by Chad Lang, so Chad gave him a little bit of space. Jeff Chandler, last guy on the lead lap for 11 right now, so Nicholas is still putting him down. He's got a little bit of ways, though, before he gets to Jeff Chandler. So Jeff Chandler probably will be still credited with a lead lap finish tonight.
Just watching this battle, you see the 9 of Marshall Johnson doing everything he can to try to work over that 16 of Robert Malikian for 7th spot, and you got Kyle Milliken trying to hang on to 9th over TJ Bartel. These are your battles here towards the end of this race.
Yeah, and they're not necessarily even, they're about a corner away from each other, the 2 of them, but yeah, they're both trying to put on a good show right now. And it looks like Marshall might be the more exciting watch right now, although the TJ Kyle Milliken is starting to heat up a little bit as well. We only got 2 to go, so they're going to have to make this happen.
2 laps to go. For your leader, the 15 of Nicholas Moreau. Through 3 and 4 for the final time. You'll see the white flag. 1 lap to go here at Milwaukee for the 15 of Moreau, trying to get his 12th win of the season, or 12th win of the year, as we head into the playoffs. It's been a rocky B season for the 15 of Moreau. He'll tell you that himself, but he's come back to form here as of late. Had some issues at Richmond, rebounds tonight at Milwaukee, leading this race. It all happened, though, on pit road as Burns lost a little bit of time, and Nick Moreau pounced. Coming out of turn 4, the winner tonight for the Milwaukee 150 is going to go to the 15, Nicholas Moreau.
Yeah, definitely had a rough start early on in season B here, but the end of season B has been nothing but masterful. He may even have a few in a row, or at least, win, a miss, a win. He's been pretty dominant, though. Going back, Robert Malikian does stay ahead of Marshall Johnson. I had to go back. Kyle Milliken stays ahead of T.J. Bartell, and both of them kind of nail biters towards the end of that last lap.
With the 7-18, we're leaning on each other too for 19th spot. Barry Kramer hangs on to that. It's pretty interesting racing around there, man. They were going all at it, but that's going to conclude B season. We're going to wrap it up with a win from the 15 in a row to cap off the 2025 B season. Look how sweet! Look at their kissing.
Everybody putting it in the books, and they're probably happy that they don't have to come back to this place till next year again, too. So I'd imagine some of these guys. It's such a hard place to pass.
And your 2025 B season champion is going to be the 71 Brendan Polt. Getting it done here tonight. Getting it done all season. Comes home 13th tonight, but takes home the championship tonight at Milwaukee. So let's look at our results tonight for the Milwaukee 150 here. Nicholas Moreau gets it done ahead of J.P. Burns, who finishes in second after the pole tonight. Joshua O'Connor, nice climb, up 15 spots. No, up 18 spots. Wow. To third spot. Great run for him. Brandon Elder in fourth. Comes home with a solid top 5 finish. Wyatt Huntley in fifth, right behind him, his teammate. Sixth place, the 77 of Noah Nicholson. Seventh is going to be Robert Malikian in the 16. Eighth is going to be the 9 of Marshall Johnson. Ninth is going to go to Kyle Milliken in the 42. And rounding out your top 10 is going to be the 28. That is T.J. Bartell.
All right, 11th, TJ's teammate, Jeff Chandler, last guy on the lead lap. Chad Lane, 12th. Brendan Polt, our series champion, 13th. Dave Nesser, 14th. Michael Blackner, 15th. Shad Current, 16th. Jonathan Atkins, 17th. Chris Gore, 18th. Barry Kramer, 19th. Wayne Grossi, 20th. Chris Beck, 21st. Lewis Meglin, 22nd. Joseph Burgess, 23rd. Cameron Albertson's 24th. And Brad Fulham, 25th. So, yeah, not a bad field, not a bad race. As always, there are, a couple of surprises we weren't expecting, but fun race nonetheless.
Yeah, very, very calm, very cool heads prevailed. We had green flag pit stops there at the end to kind of decide it, and that is where the lead changed hands. Nicholas Moreau comes out on top, and drives away and able to grab the win over J.P. Burns. Well, we had some penalties. So, yeah, exciting race. It all come down to that one critical pit stop. I think things kind of flipped there, and we settled in. Saw some great racing tonight. Looking forward to talking to these guys. We will talk to our top 3 finishers and our champion on the other side of this commercial break when we come back. So hang in for that. We'll be right back after this.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
We are Best One.
The best tires.
The best customer service.
The best automotive service.
The best team.
And the best customers. You see, Best One isn't just our name, it's who we are. Since 1948, Best One has been delivering quality and dependable tires and full-service automotive care to our customers. Best One, selling tires, serving people. We are Best One.
Back here at the Milwaukee Mile, finishing up the Milwaukee the 150 in the 2025B season here on Full Throttle TV for the Sim Racing Points Truck Series. We're going to kick it over to our post-race show, if I can find. There it is, presented by Victory Fuel. Make sure to use code FTSR at drinkvictory.com for 10% off your order. Victory Fuel, proud sponsor of the Victory Fuel Cup Series. Yeah, I'm getting used to saying that now. Let's let's kick it over and let's talk to our third place finisher, Mr. Joshua O'Connor. Josh, man, congratulations. The 70 truck, man, it looked quick tonight up there at P3 after 18 spot gain from your starting spot. You climbed through the field the whole night and made it look easy, man. Congratulations.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Well, listen, you didn't have the starting position I think you wanted, but man, you did. That truck, I think you passed more trucks than probably anybody else out there. Had a good truck, man. Just talk about your night,
Well, I mean, we talked last week, like I washed up in a couple guys at Richmond and I felt pretty bad about it because the braking situation that I'm trying to adjust to. So we were still making brake adjustments and I don't know, I just felt good. So we started in the back to kind of just play it safe. I didn't want to be caught in the middle of it and, stepping the brakes too hard or too little and end up getting into somebody. I think I got into somebody early or after the caution, I think. And I feel pretty bad. I got to go back and look and see who that was. But we were just trying to survive. And after the pit, I was just like, I'm going to try and catch everybody after they pit, see if I can catch them on their out laps and with fresh attack. Because I was already catching them before they pitted. So I just thought I could jump the pit, maybe catch up to them that way.
Well, we talked about how tough it was to pass out there. We were talking the whole race about you get off the bottom, man, you just get freight trained if there's a line of cars back there. Just kind of talk about you were talking about how you kind of were taking it easy early on. What was your philosophy, your thought process when trying to make those passes, trying to set people up to make those passes? Obviously, you made a lot of them tonight. So kind of what were you passing on exit, you diving on entry, or just waiting for the guys to wash up out of your way?
I want to say we made a lot of the passes coming out of 2. We made a lot of passes coming out of 2 and a couple coming out of 4. And it was just right in that bottom line, staying down there, trying to hug it as much as we could. The thing that I caught up on was people were washing out a little early on the exits. And it was opening it up because if they got loose, 2-3 lanes down below them would start checking up and it would leave the bottom completely open. So I was just trying to keep the bottom as much as I could. And we were just picking up, spots because people were checking up to cars on the high side and they had nowhere to go.
Well, you definitely made that happen, man. You had a good run again tonight, third place. Congratulations on that as we head into the C season and the playoffs, man. Looking strong. Looking forward to seeing you guys out there. I think you're right there on that cusp of maybe getting one of these wins here soon. So congratulations. I'm going to hand you the mic to let you do your shout-outs and your sponsor plugs.
Thank you. First, I want to thank you guys for the league, what you guys put together, the shows you guys do, the level of racing, and how we improve people's racing after each race is critical, I think, to how this league works out. The broadcast is phenomenal. You guys do a great job at that. Nitro Racing for the setup. Johnny Taylor built it. It's a rocket ship. It feels great. Full Throttle TV for the broadcast as well. My family for checking in and watching the race. Patriot Media Marketing Services. If you're ever looking for graphic services, they definitely have some race stuff for you. And then I've got Yobo Designs if anyone's ever looking for something personal. So that's what I got. Thank you guys.
Boy, you got a lot going on, man. Congratulations again. Congratulations tonight. And we will see you next week.
Have a great night, guys. Thank you again.
All right, there's your 70 truck, Joshua O'Connor, coming home in third spot. Man, I'm tired after him going through all that list. I don't know how he got through that without. Did he take a break? Did he take a breath? I'm not sure.
He was on it all night for sure. Yep.
All right, well, we're going to throw it to you. I think you're standing by with second place, the 99 of JP Burns.
Yes, I'm here with JP, man. You had such a rocket ship, a long run car. Man, it just you just got beat on pit road towards that last pit green flag stop. So how was your race tonight? I mean, what happened?
Well, when I went into my pit stall, apparently I shifted it down to neutral and didn't notice that. So I was sitting there for a couple seconds, and then when I shift to first, next thing I know, Nicholas was passing me. So it's unfortunate, but I had a good truck, so I can't really complain.
Well, yeah, I mean, you came off your win from last week. I mean, still having a second place finish, especially out here. Again, the truck looked great on the long run. I mean, we saw you yesterday too in practice. You were looking fast, kind of shades of what you did last week as well. I think you still even led the most laps tonight. it just was a great truck, and yeah, it's none of us caught it on broadcast that you were stuck in neutral. But are you using H pattern? You use paddles, or what went wrong there?
Um, on paddles, and normally I don't ship down to neutral, but for some reason this time I did, and just a mistake. It happens to the best of us.
Oh, well, it's definitely unfortunate, but still, it was a great run. Especially early on. Like I say, I'm pretty sure you led most laps tonight, and you just had a really strong truck. I mean, you're definitely in the playoffs as well. So, I'm sure we're going to be. Hopefully, you'll be able to carry some of the momentum and magic going into the playoffs. So, any tracks in particular you're looking forward to?
Um, Honestly, I don't really look too far ahead. Just race by race, try and get as much practice in as possible, and try and have that long run truck. Just for that reason, just helps me maneuver a little bit, and when I notice the guys in front of me are slacking, I can take advantage of that.
Well, yeah. Well, you definitely had that tonight. Yeah, it's unfortunate to hear about about the neutral incident, but hey, it's definitely something you're going to be paying attention to as we move along further. So again, congratulations. I mean, you had a hell of a good run tonight, and sorry about the heartbreak, but the floor is yours. You can thank your sponsors.
Yeah, so first of all, I'd like to thank my team, Elevated Esports, and Gums Auto, and looking at Branded, the country band that sponsors us, and just my team overall, putting it together a good truck.
All right. Well, they did. They gave you a rocket ship tonight. You did about everything you could do with it tonight, and hey, second's still pretty good. You definitely were the class of the field tonight. So it's still nothing. Hang your head low hang your head low about as well. So good job on second, and yeah, we'll see you next week, man.
Thank you very much. On to the next one.
All right, Brody. I believe you have our winner, Nicholas Moreau.
Yep, standing down here in Victory Lane with the 15 in Moreau. Nick, congratulations once again, man. Win number 12 of the year. You cap off the regular season in style as we head into the playoffs. Another 5 or another 3, I guess, playoff points for you. Talk about your 9 out there.
It's a good race. Good race. I was ready. Truck was good. But I didn't practice with people, so I noticed that it was much harder to keep a good pace into the corner because you cannot see the curbs and then the wall. And I was trying to pass Jonathan, but it was damn hard to pass. So I was like, I'm good at third, but I want to win. So I tried to figure out what I can change on the pit. I did some adjustment and it went well. And well, yeah, my goal was to undercut them at the end, but when I've seen them pit at the same time, I was like, okay, man, I won't be able to pass them on track. But I was like, what the hell at the end. But when I took the lead after the last pit, it was like, okay, man, it's another race from now.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you talked about how hard it was to pass. We talked about that all night. Like you were being really patient with that Ford, trying to find a way. I felt like at times you had a better car or better truck than the Ford of Atkins there. Just could not find a way to get around him. We knew track position was going to be key, and we knew that pit stop was going to be important. But I guess the most important thing you did that the 99 didn't do is you kept it in first gear. Unfortunately, he said he had an issue where he went to neutral and then didn't realize it till late. That cost him a few seconds. It was just enough for you to jump out front, get that clean air, and pull away. So I don't know, man. Talk about the night. We were talking about, like patience is so important at this track, and it's so easy to lose your patience because it is so hard to pass. You can kind of talk more about that.
Yeah, it's my setup was very, very good at entry and rotation. So it was my goal for the setup. But it was, as said, much harder to pass when you keep the inside more than you could. So yeah, I've got patience because I was watching Jonathan how he drive, and then I was trying to study him, where I can pass, where I can. Well, he was just sometimes he opened the door just a little bit, but I was like, nah, I cannot hit him right now. But I was like, don't do it at 10 laps to go because I will be there for sure.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't know what happened to him, by the way, but was a good race. It was fun to follow someone, and it's a good racing.
You guys definitely had two different lines going on there for sure. And I was watching that because he was kind of hard on the entry, and you were getting a better exit, but it was just you guys were kind of matching each other in different parts. So it was a lot of fun to watch. I'm sure it was a lot of fun to participate in as well. So I'm going to throw it to Tony though. Tony, you got anything to add there?
Well, honestly, you guys kind of answered 90% of my my questions, and yeah, I just congratulations again on another win. You definitely showed a lot of patience tonight, and hats off to you there. I know we had mentioned it on the broadcast too, with Jonathan Atkins kind of running some different lines too after the stage, and we just saw you kind of laying back there, maybe waiting for that point to capitalize, and hey, patience and persistence paid off for you again tonight. So that's really all I got to say. Congrats again on another win, and I'm sure we're going to be seeing you really making a drive here throughout the playoffs.
Yeah, thank you. It was a great race for from everyone, because a green flag race is, maybe it's boring for people watching, but when you race and you know that you are better on long run than most of people, you wish a long run race. So congrats to everyone, because it's not an easy track when we race with other people, when we are side by side especially. But yeah, so shout out to them.
Definitely was a good race. You're right. Some people would consider that boring, but I'll take that any day. A clean race like that, you leave with your car intact and your feelings and your emotions intact. So that's always a good thing. So man, again, congratulations on the win tonight. Win number 12, going into the playoffs. I'm sure you're going to be a contender. So I'm going to let you do your shout outs and sponsor plugs. The floor is yours.
Yeah, I would say thank you, Transit. Thank you, guys. And big shout out for my teammate, Brendan, for his championship. He was just awesome for this season. A bit, like I said to him, a bit challenging at the end, because he was battling hard with Robert. But congrats to him. He did a very great job.
All right. Well, there's your winner tonight, the 15 of Nicholas Moreau. Nicholas, congratulations and good luck in the playoffs as we start next season.
Thank you, guys. See you.
All right. There's your winner tonight, the 15 of Nicholas Moreau. But the big winner tonight, the one who got it done all season, comes home in a lousy 13th spot, but still.
Lousy? What do you mean?
Lousy 13th spot. But man, what a season it has been. Listen, you can do whatever you want to tonight. All you need is a solid night. You had it. But man, you performed all season, was very consistent all season, and able to bring home the championship in B season. Congratulations.
Appreciate it. I still kind of baffled, to be honest, because Richmond and Milwaukee are probably the two least favorite tracks for me on the service. So having those last two being practically the penultimate end of season finale definitely made it a little bit more challenging, as again, I just don't like these tracks. But Robert also didn't hold up either. It sucks for him back at Richmond to not be able to make it because computer issues, but nobody can control those, unfortunately. Otherwise, yeah, like you said, it's been a really consistent season. Haven't really finished outside of the top 10 except this race and ones I've been wrecked out at. So very, very consistent. I'm ecstatic about it.
Well, you do have this championship this season, and I'm sure you're going to celebrate that, and congratulations and all of that. But right around the corner, 1 week from today, we start the playoffs, and you go in there with multiple wins too. So I'm sure that's also a goal of yours to repeat next season, maybe even get the season championship, but you definitely want that season-long playoff championship win. Just talk about your preparations as we go into that 10-race playoff here starting next week.
Well, Darlington is also a very tricky track. That's why it's the Lady in Black. That's why it's too tough to tame. But That Darlington initially is going to be a get through without being wrecked out kind of race, because I believe right after that, if I can quickly pull up the schedule, right after that we got 2008 Atlanta and Bristol. Both are tracks I'm really good at. So unless if we're, I don't actually know, are we doing it like a knockout formation, or is just whoever has the most at Phoenix?
It's the typical three race rounds
Okay.
to the final race. Yeah.
So yeah, Darlington is really just trying to get through without wrecking, and then Atlanta and Bristol is where I'm gonna try and get to the next round. My overall goal, honestly, is to get to that Champ 4, because if Nick is there, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to beat him at Phoenix, but getting to that Champ 4 for the first full season here in FTSR will be a very strong goal to make. But I feel like we can make it, especially as a whole at Twisted Speed and ESC.
Yeah, well, again, man, congratulations on the whole season win tonight, B season championship. Wrap that up, got that on your resume, and I'm sure you're looking forward to more next season as well. So I don't think we're done here. So go out there and get them next week. Again, congratulations. I'm gonna let you have the floor though. Do a little shout outs and sponsor plugs for our B season champion.
Well, Twisted Speed, they've been building this setup a lot. Granted, this week was a bit of I wouldn't say a wrong call, but definitely not what we need to, as I'll make the change here and send that out here later tonight. But Twisted Speed for the rest of the season was the absolute GOAT throughout Michigan. The rest of the season, they really helped me out, especially for the weeks I wasn't able to practice as much. ESC also, W Energy Drinks, Turn 1 Designs for the nationwide scheme. This time my mom is actually watching in the chat with my dad, still asleep. That has not changed. But great to finish off the B season here on a championship win. Let's try and get the Champ 4 for the overall year.
All right, he's got the trophy. He's got the big trophy. I know Nick got a small trophy tonight. He got the big trophy tonight for the B season.
Nick got his big one in the A season.
Right. And we'll see what you can do next season, starting next week. So, man, congratulations. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, see you next week for the Lady in Black.
All right, there you go. Your champion tonight or for this season, Brendan Polt in the number 71. Man, B season's over, Tony. This is it. The end. And then we start fresh next week with the playoffs. Everything starts to ramp up just a little bit higher, as now we're going to have eliminations. We're going to have all that stuff going on next week. The regular season's over, and now we shift into playoff mode.
Yeah, I'm going to be probably back on track next week at my least favorite track in all of racing. So I'm not really looking forward to that much. But hey, I made the final 16 at least, so I'll be there to play. And there's a lot of good competition out there. And hey, if I can make it to the next round of cutoffs, I'd be impressed. But yeah, tonight's race was pretty good. A little bit of surprise, a little bit of change. Some heartbreaks out there, some typical dominance as well. It's season C is probably going to be a little bit of the same though. It's going to be a kind of a mixed bag of fun stuff happening here.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, next week we are at Darlington Raceway again. Like Brennan said, he is exactly right. It is going to be survival at the Lady in Black. You can catch all the action right here on Full Throttle Television Wednesday nights, 9 p.m. Make sure to tune in and see what these guys can get done in their playoffs here on Full Throttle Television. And remember, on Monday nights, we're also live with the Victory Fuel Cup Series. There'll be an action at Daytona Monday nights. Looking forward to that. Tony, you'll be in the booth for me for that one as well. We get to watch some action at Daytona, some super speedway drafting action. So looking forward to that one. All right, so that
will be a good time.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. So that's going to do it for us tonight from Milwaukee. The B season is over for the sim racer. Look forward to bringing that live to you here on Full Throttle Television. So for Full Throttle Television, Tony Solari, and everyone watching, hope you guys enjoyed it like we did. We'll see you Monday night from Daytona here on Full Throttle Television.